وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. Alhamdulillah, it's an honor to have with us our Ustadh Noman. Obviously, he doesn't need much introduction, so we'll just begin the program as soon as you possibly can. Uh, Also, it is a day of fasting, so subhanAllah, it's amazing to see so many people here. Really is a sacrifice. Perhaps you could have been at home eating some more food and getting ready for Eid. Alhamdulillah, all of us are gathered here. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make this gathering beneficial for all of us. I mean, before we begin, I'd just like to give some welcoming remarks from our president, Dr. Sadiq.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. Assalamu alaikum. Dear brothers and sisters, we are very happy and glad the day of before the Eid and the day after the Arafah. We have our very good and beloved. I say, my brother, he's not the new over here, it's his hometown, and he came to our Jamaica Muslim Center so many times. That's the Noman here. He came again because he loves you, that's why he's here. And not only that, I remember about 22 years ago in Muslim Center. That time, one of the greatest scholars, one of my teachers, Professor Ahmed, you maybe never heard about his name. He passed away, may Allah send him to the Jannah those. And his class, I saw that time, Hanuman Ali, college student, and he's always looking at. From that, I saw who is that young man, noting everything, and he loves him very much. And now, Alhamdulillah, after a long time, he becomes one of the greatest scholars international. We are very proud of him, and inshallah, you will be all benefited from his valuable speech. So inshallah, without further delay, I'll introduce Brother Noman Ali. Please go ahead. Assalamu
alaikum. يا أيها الناس ضرب مثل فاستمعوا له إن الذين تدعون من دون الله لن يخلقوا ذبابا ولو اجتمعوا له وإن يسلبهم الذباب شيئا لا يستنقذوه منه ضعف الطالب والمطلوب ما قدر الله حق قدره الله لقوي رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي امري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله السلام عليكم. President said, I have some very unique memories of the ANC. I remember teaching one of my first heavy courses down here. I had some of the best food that I had here. There were two reasons to take the plane all the way to the end. One of them was pound fried chicken, and the other one was the MC. In New York, you have all kinds of mushrooms. You guys know that people used to, back in the 90s, warned from going from this mushroom to that one. The people in this guy did this one, this one, that one. People united their pound fried chicken, and they united where there was a fun actually. Anyhow, on this remarkable evening, first thing that I pray for myself and for all of you is that because we have just crossed over with this Maghrib, a day that has the most valuable time for dua, that I pray that Allah accepts all of our dua, especially our dua for forgiveness. Because when forgiveness is given, then everything else is given. Actually, it is the ultimate dua. Because even in Surah Nuh, for example, Allah says, Nuh alayhi salam was telling people, فَقُلْتُ اسْتَغْفِرُوا رَبَّكُمْ إِنَّهُ كَانَ غَفَّارًا يُرْسِلِ السَّمَاءَ عَلَيْكُمْ مِدْرَارًا يمددكم بأموال وبنين ويجعل لكم جنات ويجعل لكم أنهارا. So he said, I told my people, make istighfar, ask Allah for forgiveness. Right? And Allah keeps on forgiving over and over again.
إِنَّهُ كَانَ غَفَّارًا. He's always been someone who forgives over and over again. But then he says, يُرْسِلِ السَّمَاءَ. This is صيغة المجنون. There's a kasra on يُرْسِل. يُرْسِلِ السَّمَاءَ عَلَيْكُمْ. Means when you do istighfar, then Allah will open the sky and send the rizq pouring down on you. وَيُمْدِدْكُمْ بِأَمْوَالٍ وَبَنِينَ. It will extend you with money and with children. Wealth will open up. Kids will open up. And when Allah says يُمْدِدْكُم, it means, yeah. You want me to take a second line? Yeah. I love lights. وَيُمْدِدْكُم بِأَمْوَالٍ وَبَنِينَ. He will extend for you with money and children. Actually, it also means, money is, some people make a lot of money, but they're miserable. They take antidepressants, they have anxiety, they have heart conditions, they have high blood pressure because of the money. I was checking all the business going down or up, or the taxes, or this or that, right? On the other hand, even children, in the beginning, people made dua for children. Yeah, that was really dramatic. Okay, so yeah, almost sounds like my alter ego. Anyway, it's okay. You guys so when you did something unlikely, he will extend with money and children. The thing is, people when they don't have a child, they make dua on others. When the wife is pregnant, they make dua on Allah, right? And then you have children, celebration, all this stuff. And then 20 years later, I just, I don't know, the mother and father, what is wrong with you? Oh my God, maybe all this problem, all these problems that children can become a huge problem. They're not just a blessing. When you think that money, supposed to be, when I have money, it's going to be this. When you get money and you get problems you never imagined you would have, they can give the money. The same way trials can come with children, but you never imagined you would have those trials. But in this God, when Nuh is saying, make istighfar, that means the money and the children you will get, they're actually going to be a source of blessing. They're not going to be a trial. And all of that is connected to one thing, istighfar. All of that is connected to this ask Allah for forgiveness. So we pass the day, the grand purpose, the great purpose of Hajj is actually to earn the forgiveness of Allah. And that started with Ibrahim alayhi salam. As he was building the Kaaba, he actually asked Allah to accept our tawbah, basically forgive us. Right? As he was building the Kaaba. So everyone after that, anybody who saves up money and has the risk to be able to go to Hajj is done, what's their number one motivation? They want to get all of this forgiveness. Forgiveness is at the top of all of it. That is remarkable that Surah Al-Fath. Surah Al-Fath is the surah in which Allah showed the Prophet the dream that Makkah will be conquered and the Muslims will be in. That's the surah. What's remarkable about that surah is 29 ayahs. First ayah, the beginning of the forgiveness is the beginning of the surah. In the very middle of the surah, in the middle of the surah, and at the end, وَعَدَ اللَّهُ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ مِنْهُمْ مَغْفِرَةً. Meaning this institution of Hajj, the liberation of the Kaaba, our ability to perform this ritual, all of it begins and ends in the middle is maghfirah. So the first thing we ask Allah, and really the last thing we ask Allah, look at our messengers of Allah. When the entire mission was complete, Makkah was conquered, Fath came, right? What's the instruction given to Rasulullah? The whole thing is starting with Nasrullahi wal Fajr. You would think that should be the conclusion. No, that's the beginning. The actual conclusion is make it apart. So this thing that we do, we ask Allah for forgiveness, is a very powerful thing. It's a really powerful emotion. And today I'm going to try to talk to you a little bit about that, why that's important, and how we should have the right attitude or a better attitude for seeking forgiveness. So seeking forgiveness of Allah has to do with ashamed of what I could have done. I should have woken up and I should have done this. Guys are having a meeting. I don't know. I'm so interested. You want to take this one out? Are you good now? Okay. Are you sure? All right. You want this one? I don't hold it. Okay. Was I saying something else? I have to be ashamed of what I've done. First of all, I find what shame is very big. Because I have to have shame or love for what I've done. Like 99% of the time, it's people that you're ashamed. Your mother makes you feel ashamed. Your wife makes you, husband, kids make you weren't here for your brother, people in your life. Even within the religion, there are other people that make you feel ashamed. You know, you could just, you forgot to fast. You didn't fast today. You're waiting for a thought and you're like, yeah. We're not supposed to have shame to anyone else. We're not supposed to have shame to anyone other than Allah. And the thing about that is it's very liberating, freeing. You know why? Because Allah told us, here are the things you should not do. And if you do them, you should be ashamed. And if you are ashamed, I will reward you. I will be so happy with you if you're what? Ashamed. Nobody else is happy with you when they're ashamed. In fact, if people have you hurt somebody's feelings and you are ashamed, it's hard. You know what people say? Oh, you think that's enough. You're crying, this is enough. You think I can give you? I can never forgive you. I can never move on. It will never be. And then they add some extra masala. You know what they add? Allah will never forgive you. Really? You got a reward from Allah? You got a very from Allah? Allah will ask you when you're you mad, I got you. You're mad. I get it. You can't throw Allah on your team and then say, and then people get on judgment day. I'm going to tell Allah what you did. Really. Allah will ask you first. Wait, you have any complaint before we begin? This is how you do it first. Judgment day. Come on. We shouldn't talk about Allah in this. But you know what we do? You know what I call it? I made a new term for it. It's called Islamic shaming. Right? We use Islam to cast shame on people. You know what the Prophet said? He said this. Look at you. You know what Allah said? He's talking about you. I should feel ashamed. I should. But the shame I feel before Allah is actually it's actually the shame I feel before Allah is the one that's making me save money and then not go on vacation, but go to one of the hottest places on the planet and burn myself and crush myself and beg him to forgive. And he loves it. He loves it. The more you humiliate yourself in front of a person, your dignity goes down. The more I humiliate myself before Allah, my dignity goes up. The dignity of a human being goes up. This is the gift Allah has given us, seeking forgiveness. It's actually a way of honoring. It's a way of, I can be honest with myself, and I have to be honest with Allah. I have to be honest with Allah. And then you know what that means? That means I just have to make sure Allah is happy. The thing is, when you decide that I have to make sure Allah is happy, I guarantee you something. In every one of your life, every man and every woman, everybody's life, you decide, I am only going to make Allah happy, first and foremost. And I can guarantee you, there are people in your life that will be guaranteed, with no exception. And when people in your life become offended, they make you feel ashamed because they, how could you make me unhappy? Now you start feeling shame from it. And then you're caught in the middle. You be ashamed of Allah, you be ashamed of doing something wrong because you don't want to hurt any feelings. So shame is a very powerful level. It can elevate a human being or it can destroy a human being. When you allow shame to enter into your life from people, then it will destroy you. It will kill you. In fact, you can't even respect yourself. You start thinking, I'm just a horrible person. Look, my mother's never going to be proud of me. My dad never thinks I'm worth anything. I should just keep myself. And you live in that. You never even respect yourself. So you never expect better things for yourself. You never expect to do any better. But when you have shame in front of Allah, Allah promises, every time Allah talks about forgiveness, what does He say? He says, no doubt about it, He forgives. No doubt about it, He doesn't just forgive, He's Al-Rahim. You ever notice Allah doesn't just say Ghafur, He says Al-Ghafur Rahim? He put Rahim next to it. However, Rahmah is very different from Maghfirah. Maghfirah means I forgive you. But even if you and I had a fight, then I forgive you, right? That doesn't mean I want to hang out with you and go to conflict. I forgive you, and you can go home. I want to go my house. I don't want to see your face all the time. It just means we don't have beef anymore. Right? We don't have a problem anymore. But when you forgive, and on top of that, you love someone and you care for someone, because rahmah is two things, love and its care. It's not just that Allah forgives. After forgiving, He shows you love and care. It's a remarkable thing that He put those two things together. It's one thing to just be forgiven. Like the judge in a traffic court can forgive your ticket. He's not going to give you a hug. He's not going to say, here, I have my lunch. He's not going to do that. Just get out of here. Next. Well, Allah is not just Ghafoor. To you and me, He's Ghafoor Rahim. And you see, this is a quality human beings, we can't even have it. I'm not even capable of it. Even Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam could be Ghafoor sometimes. He could be loving, he could be forgiving. And He did forgive. For example, you find Al-Wahshi, who had thrown the spear that killed his uncle. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But Wahshi became Muslim later. He became Muslim much later. But he was so afraid. But he became Muslim after Makkah. Makkah is conquered. Now people are coming in front of the Prophet one by one, and they want to take Shahada. They want to stand in front of him and so he's in the line. But he knew if people see my face, they will kill me. They know I'm the one who killed Hamza. So he put a hood on, covered his face, wrapped up his face until he got in front of the Prophet. And the Prophet saw him relax. He told him to unmask. He saw that it's like about to take Shahada. People were ready to kill him. And he took the Shahada, and the Prophet said, tell me how he died. He wants to tell me. So he tells him, the Prophet is so upset. He forgets, but he says, I don't want to see you again. He says, I want to see you. Couldn't do it. Another example in the Quran is Yaqub alayhi salam. Yaqub alayhi salam lost Yusuf for many years because of who? Because of his sons. So many years they tortured him. And they didn't just get rid of Yusuf, they insulted him, they humiliated him, they tortured him psychologically every day. In the Quran, they called him crazy. Stop talking about Yusuf. They yelled at him. They called him an old crazy man, and then they taught their wives to insult him, and they taught their children to insult him. Even that's implied in the Quran. And after everything, they come back and say, "What? Sorry." It's already at the end, right? They apologize and stuff. Make dua for us, Allah forgives us. They asked their father. They've been hurting him for so many years, 20, 25 years. They've been torturing him. Just one sorry. For human beings, it's not so easy. So what does he say? So fast stuff. We kind of do this soon. He doesn't say, okay, yeah. My Lord, forgive them. No. I can't do it yet. Not yet. I need to process. But Allah, His forgiveness now. Allah just sees my slave is crying, my slave is ashamed, by saying they promise to me he won't mess up again. He feels bad or she feels bad for what they did. Forgiveness immediately. No long process, nothing. Just ask sincerely, Allah gives. That's it. That's the only thing. You know what happens to Muslims? I've seen this from a psychological point of view. In our lives, people don't forgive easily. People don't forgive, and people they remember one thing you said 10 years ago, and you never said it again. And every time there's a fight, they bring that one thing again. Right. I remember what you. How do you remember that? Well, we have a remembering anniversary. I put it on a notification on my phone, so I make sure I remind you of what you said because I need to. But what is Allah do? What is Allah do? Once you ask forgiveness, you know what maghfirah actually means? Ghafara means to cover. It actually means to cover. Allah's name is Al-Ghafur, the one who covers. We ask Allah, kaffir anna sayyi'atina, bury our sins away from us. When something is buried, dig it up again. We say in the Quran, Allah tells us, وَإِن تَعْبُوا وَتَصْفَحُوا وَتَغْفِرُوا. Tasfahu, safha, to turn the page. You turn the page, you can't see the previous page. One of the names of Allah is Al-Afu, the one who forgives with love. The one who forgives with love. I have to develop a mentality. The reason what I was saying was we have such little expectation that people will forgive. Even people who love, by the way. People love you when they don't forgive. Could be your mother loves you. She makes you breakfast every morning. You're 50 years old, she still makes you breakfast. But she still doesn't forgive you. She still gets angry. I remember what you said. She loves me, she can't forgive me. It happens. They can't move on. But you experience that so much, what you start thinking? Allah probably doesn't forgive me. People don't forgive me. That's the only experience I have. People don't let go. Why would Allah let go? Allah's not going to let me go. Allah's going to give me. Doesn't matter how much istighfar I do, I'm going to go. There's no way he's going to forgive. You know where this idea comes from? This idea comes from what people have done to you. Allah never did this to you. People did this to you, but you confuse it with what Allah is going to do. This is what you do in your head. That's why people confuse it. How do I know if Allah has forgiven me? What do you mean, how do you know? Why do you need to know? Allah has said, He forgives. He doesn't say, how will you know? He doesn't create a mystery around. He just asks us to fall. We'll forgive. That's all he says. He doesn't, well, he said, but forgiveness is not for people. Tawbah is not for people who keep doing sins over and over again and make it a habit. And all right. And then do it again, ya Allah, problem. You keep going back. That's not going to work. If you make tawbah a joke, other than that, tawbah is accepted immediately. So this is one thing that I wanted to put before you about shame and about forgiveness. That we have to love forgiveness. If Allah made something happen, say that again. If Allah made something happen, nobody can make you feel bad. Nobody can make you feel ashamed if Allah made it. So in Islam, there are two things. Either you take something haram and you make it what? Halal. That's a crime. Allah has made it haram, nobody can make it. There's another. Who dares to make haram the beautiful things of Allah? Allah asks the question. There are two crimes, equally difficult, equally problematic crimes. I cannot dare to take the haram and make it halal. And I cannot dare to take the halal and make it. I cannot make someone feel ashamed for something Allah did not make them feel ashamed for. I cannot create my own halal and haram on people. This is such a serious thing that the Prophet was told, why do you make haram for yourself when Allah has made halal for you? Why are you feeling ashamed that you ate honey because your wife feels bad? No. Don't feel any shame because when you're now denying yourself this food. Allah revealed ayat to the Prophet. Don't do that to yourself. Because then people will learn that. People will learn that. We have Allah's rules and then we have people rules on top of that. Unspoken rules. People create emotional restrictions in relationships. Parents do that, kids do that, siblings do that, husbands and wives do that. You fulfill your obligations as a husband, you provide for the family, give time to the wife, to the children, you're doing everything you can. And your friend comes from out of town, and you say, hey, I'm going to go have a friend. I'll see you in 2 years. And your wife says, have fun. Enjoy away from your family. No, we'll be fine. It's okay. Don't even call. It's okay. You know what? I hope you have a really good time. Now, what do you feel? We're a mechanic. We felt the pain, like somebody's going to feel that. But were you taking anybody's right? Were you doing something wrong? No. You're not. The same way, she listens for mom. I just talked to her about. So she gives her a call. Oh, yeah, talk to your mother. You know what? Talk to her all day. You know what? Just why do you even talk? Why am I even here? Why don't we bring her here and I go there? You just talk to your mother. Now she feels bad. She doesn't call her mom. You emotionally, you're making something haram for her. That's actually, you understand? So these things we don't say. Nobody says, I make this haram for you. Nobody says it. We do it. We do it by way of pressure, by way of unspoken psychological effect, by the way we make our faces. We can play these games with each other. And this is actually something our Deen liberated us from when we go and we ask for your only from Allah. So that's one quick thing that I wanted to remind you in regards to what we ask Allah for. When we ask Allah for forgiveness, it's associated with change. That change can only be connected to God. May Allah make our hearts feel genuine change towards Allah. Make our hearts give our hearts the gift of genuine tears of regret before Allah. That is the best thing the believer can have. Is genuinely have a good, clear view of themselves, a good, clear image of themselves. Two extremes I always talk about. Either you look at yourself as a complete loser, you're worthless, you're useless, and that's actually unhealthy. Or the other is, no, I don't have a problem. Everybody else has a problem. Look at these people, look at their problem, look at their problem. Because when you're so busy with everybody else's problems, the only one left on the planet that does not have a problem is you. Right? Then you don't need everybody else should make a step up. In fact, you look at the people and say, stop. Why are you asking for forgiveness? You're like, what you're saying is you should do something, like you should do something, like you should do something. You know? And you're passing out a step but not for yourself. A heart like that, it never cries to Allah. It never cries to us. It never judges itself. It's always judging somebody else. So there's two extremes. Either you judge yourself so much that there's no istighfar for you, or you don't judge yourself at all and istighfar for everyone else. Those are the two extrees, and we have the Quran is right in the middle. The believer is supposed to be right in the middle in light of Allah's guidance. I have to be honest with myself. There's good in me. There's also bad in me. There's mistakes in me too, and I need to fix them. And I need to be ashamed for Allah for having made them. Because this is Asian of Hajj, I want to at least mention one ayah from Surah Al-Hajj that I'm thinking about recently. And I'll be honest with you, I didn't prepare for the question. And that's probably not that good. Think about Allah has given me the love of learning His book, and I study Allah's book, and I try to contemplate it as much as I can, and then I think about what would be a good reminder for myself. What would I need to hear for myself? I'm talking mostly to myself. I love you, but I care more about you. Anyway, so this is towards the end of Surah. Allah begins, Ya ayyuhan nas. People. So this word An-Nas, Ibn Ashur al-Mufassirun saying that sometimes Allah uses people for the kuffar. Sometimes He uses it for this one. I would argue that when the open wording is used, the people, then it includes everyone. It includes Muslim, it includes non-Muslim, it includes everyone. Okay? Now, an example is about to be given. There's an example is about to be struck. This is what's called the feeling. Allah could say he's going to give you an example, or he's going to describe an example, but he actually says he's going to hit an example. An example is being hit. An example is being struck. The idea of striking is, for example, if you're walking down the street and you hear a loud sound, you turn around to see if there's a car accident, right? Loud sounds gather attention. Loud sounds have an impact. Everybody in the surrounding focuses on the same point of it. You understand? So the idea of using the word love for method, hitting, for the example, is actually he's about to say something that deserves your full attention. Even if you're on the phone, on an important work meeting or anything, and you heard a loud sound, what would you do? The meeting stops. You don't say, hold on a second, there's a loud sound, I'll be right back. You don't even give a warning. It's done. Immediately. Conversation stop, cooking stop, TV show stop, everything stops. And you just turn around and look at what just happened, right? You're started. The idea is an example is about to be given. And this is the kind of example where you need to give full attention. You need to drop everything. And that's the idea captured inside. The other interesting thing here, usually Allah says, Allah gave an example. But here Allah did not say, or you know, he says, this is called it's an example has been given. And it's listen carefully now. Example has been struck. Has been struck. Allah did not mention himself. When he does not mention himself, it's as if he removed himself from the focus. The focus is not on Allah, the focus is on the example. And I want you to understand the reason for that. This is actually an important concept. No, he's going to be. Other no. Okay. So, let's think something about Islam. Example. Okay. So, in psychology, they have this subject called, primacy and latency effect. There are other concepts. Let me not go into this. Let me just explain it. The thing is, when I'm communicating with you, if anybody on the street was talking to you, human beings are programmed to look at who is talking first. If the guy smells, he looks homeless, he looks a little crazy, he's walking going, hey man, can I talk to you for a second? You're like, you're across the street. Right? So you just, I would be like, on the team, 6 foot social distancing, and 16 foot social distancing, because you can tell this is trouble. Right? This is trouble. So what we do, before we even hear someone, we look at it. We look at it. And if someone looks a certain way, and then someone, we have a judgment of someone by their appearance, then we are more ready to listen to them or less ready to listen. So if you go to an accountant's office and the accountant is about to give you accounting advice, you will take it very seriously. I think you need to file, or you need to make sure your accounts are ready by February, etc. But if your 7-year-old son came to me and said, Dad, I think your accounts need to be ready by February. Come here. It could be the same exact advice. Why are you not listening? If the same exact advice came from an accountant, you listen. And if the accountant started giving you advice about your cardiovascular health and about your cholesterol, you're like, just do the taxes. Because when you look at someone, you judge, okay, you're relevant for this conversation. You're relevant for this conversation. We look at the person first and we hear what they're saying later, right? That's the human tendency. But people that are very sharp, you know what they do? They don't care who's talking. They don't focus on the speaker, they focus on the what? Focus on the speaker. It's very difficult thing to do. Very difficult thing. Because for us, Before we even focus on the speech, we're always focused on the speech. Ladies, your husband is about to say something, you're like, there we go. It doesn't matter what he says already, because it's coming from him. And your friend can call you and say the same thing. Oh my God, I need so much time. That is so amazing. And then you'll look up and you know what? I'm still because she turns she turns the brain button on mute the moment you open your mouth because it's you. Right? And you can do that to her. I have to talk to you about something. Well, thank you for warning me. Go ahead. We judge the person before we judge them. I used to give a silly example, but I think it makes sense. We have Jum'ah going on here. Somebody's that. You came late to GMC, so you're playing Jum'ah downstairs in the basement. You can't even see the TV screen. Who's the kid? You don't know. Upstairs, a 16-year-old kid with a baseball hat on sideways. And he's got like a big old Allah chain. And people up here are like, what's going on? Why is he accepted? You have to repeat the salah. And downstairs in the basement, you're like, mashallah, where's the kid from? Because you judge people upstairs, they're judging the what? They're judging the speaker. And people downstairs are judging what? They're judging the speaker. So it has a completely different people upstairs that they do ourselves a lot. People downstairs do our company like right? So the point that I'm making is that Allah sometimes He knew that there are some people when they hear that this example is from Allah, they'll turn the switch off. Oh, Allah again. Oh, this Islamic stuff. I don't care. They don't want to hear it because they're tired of religion, or they're like, oh, I hate this stuff. Leave me alone. Let me live my life. And so if Allah said, Allah is giving an example, they'd say, oh, no, thank you. But Allah said, an example is about to be given. An example is about to be struck. Who did He not mention? He mentioned Allah. So what's He doing? He's saying focus on the speech and not the video. So here, Allah wants to focus on speech. And this is teaching us something. Even Allah, the highest of the high, knows that there are some people, when they know the speaker, they will push away. So you need to figure out a way to make them focus on the speech. So sometimes in our family, among our friends, you're trying to tell someone in your family something good, they will not listen to it, even though it's good. Why won't they listen to it? Because it's coming from you. Because they're too focused on they're allergic to the speaker. So you have to find another way of making sure they can listen to the speech without you being the speaker. You have to find some other way of getting the speech across, and you have to take no credit in the process. You have to become covert to get the point across. You understand? This is an important thing. There were people from faraway villages that were coming to Makkah, listening to the speech of the Quran and becoming Muslim. And there are people inside Makkah who have grown up with the Prophet ﷺ, and just because it's him, they won't accept it. They don't care. Oh, listen, no, not him, not him. لولا نزل هذا القرآن على رجل من القريتين عظيم. How come the Quran didn't come on a millionaire? How come the Quran didn't come on the governor or a politician, somebody celebrity? Why did it come on an orphan? Why did it come on a man who does, he doesn't even have any major political position? He's a nice guy, but I mean, come on. Give me somebody serious. Give me somebody high status. Then I'll listen. Because they want to see the speaker before they want to hear the speech. Same thing we do in our life. Here Allah wants you to focus on the speech. So listen to it carefully. He doesn't say listen to him carefully. Listen to the speech carefully. Again, re-emphasis on the speech. إن الذين يدعون من دون الله. I'll just say to you, I want you to contemplate this one, which is ayah number 7, maybe a little bit of 73 and 74. So those who you call, those who all of you call, other than Allah, they will not be able to create a fly. Allah did not say those who you worship. إن الذين تعبدون من دون الله. إن الذين تدعون من دون الله. Those who you call. I want you to understand the difference, or to understand this ayah, the difference between worshiping and calling. When I worship Allah, I do that only for Allah. I do that for Allah. But when I make dua to Allah, I do that for Him. I do that. Ibadah is for Allah. But dua is for us. This is the fact. The first part is ibadah. إياك نعبد. The next part is dua. إياك نستعين. Ihdina. That's dua. So there's ibadah and there's dua. And ibadah is for Allah and dua is for us. You understand this difference? Okay. Allah is now talking about people who want something for themselves. They want something for themselves. They're not giving to other gods. They're not worshiping other gods. They want something. Their dua actually in Arabic can also mean demand. It can also mean request. It has multiple meanings. Right? So we request Allah when you make dua to Allah. We call on Him and ask Him for something. Like in Surah Al-Isra, the human being asks for harm and he thinks he's asking for something good, but he's actually asking for something harmful. The human being doesn't even realize that he's begging for something harmful for himself. So the word here is yad'un. Allah is commenting on humanity. As the ayah began, Ya ayyuhan nas, all human beings, all of you end up calling others, other than God, other than Allah. You keep putting demands from others. You keep expecting from others than Allah. Now, there used to be idols that people expected from. Now people expect from other kinds of idols. We don't have, physical idols in front of us anymore. We have virtual idols, right? People have. I personally believe, with the advent of social media technology and digital technology, each person has become their own idol. So your filtered video with your background and all of that, how many people put a thumb up on it, how many people put a heart on it, like you're hoping to get something from it. You're hoping to get attention from it. You're hoping to get a profile from it. You're hoping to get, to raise yourself. This is what this kind of become a god now. That you're making these du'as to Instagram or these du'as to TikTok or whatever, because you're hoping for something back from all of it. You're hoping to get some value from it, some attention from it, some popularity from it, In the Medina those anybody else we call other than Allah. And he gave the strangest example. I love this. He says, whoever you call other than Allah, they will not be able to create one fly. One fly. Another place in the Quran. They can't even create you guys have dates downstairs, right? In the pit of the date. If you look at the pit of the date carefully, it has these little threads. One of those threads is called a tikdir. One of those threads. Allah says, those who you call other than Allah, they don't even control the tikdir. There's how much they don't control. And you think they have so much. They have so much control. People give other people control. People depend on others. People get really romantically, you're not there, I'm going to die. If you don't text me back, I'm going to die. I can't live without, I can't breathe without your lungs are plenty of us. Without you, I can't. My eyes, I don't even want to open them. Yes, I do. And we get overly dramatic and think, without this person, I can't exist. Without this, what am I going to do? And nowadays, it's not even a human. If you lose your phone for 20 minutes, you're tired. This becomes your life. People like we become better at worshiping this device than Buddhists who are sitting in hours in front of a statue, concentrated. You don't even need to be Buddhist. You got a face. So much concentration, bro. You know, how many cats playing the piano can you watch? But this idea, they don't have any, he said they won't even be able to create a flag. I'm like, why are they making a flag? Just thinking about this question. Of all the things that weapon have said, they can create a flag. Now, if he said they can't create food, food is something I benefit from. They can't create horses. Horses, I benefit from horses. Chips, I benefit from these things. A fly? Nobody has flies in their house. I'm like, I wish I had those. Nobody wants a fly. We want to get rid of the fly. The fly is kind of an enemy to our food, to our comfort. We want to get rid of it. There's an indication here, perhaps, of what I was talking about. These people that you go to, they cannot give you any. They cannot build a weapon for you. They cannot make you stronger against your enemies. They can't even annoy your enemies with as much as what? Like the weakest weapon you can have against you. Like, you know, it's just right on your nose. That is your this idea is the weakest, you know, a nuisance is a fly. So it's not just a comment on how powerless creation, like how powerless we are to create it. It's how powerless we are to create even a weapon. How are they going to hurt anybody else? How are they going to overpower anyone else? Because human beings, a lot of times they go and call on their gods and they worship and they go to people because they want help against the problem. Right? The most helpless thing you can have, like when you have a problem, I got something to do. There's a job. They can't create this this unwanted thing. They can't even do that. How do you think they can do anything else? What other beneficial thing can they do? They can't even do something of no benefit. They don't even have power to do that. And then we wanted to illustrate how even a fly that is so insignificant has lessons to teach. You see, back in the day, people used to worship at temples. And in temples, in different religions around the world, when you go to worship at temples, you have to bring milk, you have to bring honey, you have to bring flowers, you have to put something in front of the whatever god, right? You have to put stickers, open up the wrapper, because they can't open the wrapper, put a Kit Kat, or something. You have to need something there for the god. You're going to ask the god for aid. I really need a promotion. You know, so here's, I only need one bite. At least 20%. At least 20%. But you need, and all these temples, they need food and flowers and all this stuff. And people are sitting there worshiping. When you leave food open, what shows up? What show up? Now, if you went as a tourist to one of these temples, you said, "Yeah, my favorite," and you tried to eat it, what are they going to do? So, you know, giant statue, he's going to eat it. You know, it's not for you. But then there's a fly, and the fly says, "Oh, you can't." And the fly comes with it takes a little bit. And they say, "Hey," but the fly's already taken it. Now, if you took the Kit Kat bar and you ran, what are they going to do? They're going to catch you, they'll beat you up, and they put the Kit Kat bar back. That's what they will do. But if the fly came, first it sat on the nose of the statue and said, "Hey, I'm going to take it back. You have a problem?" Nothing. And then goes in and takes it and it flies up. What are they going to do? Well, if they all got together, we have to recover this fly. We will get back that microscopic piece of Kit Kat and return it to our god of thunder or whatever that god is. You know, form will be entered. If we don't, we can't do it unless it's letting us move without shaking lights. And if this fly were to take something away from them, they cannot recover it back. They can't recover it back. Allah says, I don't have to give you some elaborate example. The most powerful people in the biggest statues, even the most powerful people, even when Donald Trump was president, he was eating a sandwich and a fly came. And it took a little bit of this. What's he going to do?
You can't get it back. It's not. I can imagine you would cry. You know? But the idea is that, even human beings, they're so powerless in front of what? What? A fly. Allah illustrates the powerlessness of human beings and their dependence on other than Allah. Everything else I depend on is powerless. This is teaching you dependence. And by the way, in psychology studies, dependence is people do that. They call it codependency. Study, those of you that are interested, especially university students, study a little bit about codependency. You'll learn something about these items. Codependency is when people develop an unhealthy dependence on another human. They develop or people can develop a dependence on what? Right? Some people develop a dependence on alcohol. Some people develop an addiction and a dependence on gambling. Other people develop a dependence on other people. Like sometimes mothers develop an unhealthy dependence on their son. Unhealthy. What are you doing? Where are you going? What do you eat? What are you doing? Are you happy? Are you happy without me? Are you happy with her? Oh, I'll make sure that you're unhappy with me. Because the only way you can be happy with to develop an unhealthy dependence. You can't see him existing outside of him. Like he came out of the womb, but psychologically she still wants to keep him in the womb. That's what she wants to do. That's an unhealthy dependence. There can be unhealthy dependence between siblings, friends. And these dependencies, all of them are weak. The thing you're depending on, the thing that you want so much is weak. And you yourself, as a result, are weak. And this is the last part I'll share with you, the conclusion of this ayah. Allah says, the one that is seeking is weak. And the one that they are seeking is also weak. The thing that is being pursued is weak. And the pursuer is also weak. And da'ufa is inherent. Da'ufa is actually sifa, for example. So it is designed to be weak. The seeker is designed to be weak. And the sought is designed to be weak. We keep seeking weak things, which makes us weak. Let's look at practical examples of that, and I'm done. So you understand what I'm saying in the Rufa. A good example would be prestige. Somebody says, I just want a degree. That's all I care about is what? Degree. If I have a degree, my mother and my father will respect me. I can finally do better than my brother. Because my brother has a degree. Now that you got it, you get to take that diploma and you get to live in your brother's face. Now I'm better than you. Look at this. Mom loves me more now. Finally. But after a while, it stops feeling good. You still feel empty inside. I'm still depressed. Why am I still depressed? I got a degree. I'm better than everyone. I'm the greatest son ever. I still feel like a loser. Why? You're feeling a weakness. You're feeling a hole inside. You want to fill it with something else. You know what? I'm going to get this from my family. I'm going to get it. It's not going to be brand new. I'm not getting it. I'm not sure myself. Anyway, so you have to come at me. No one. Finally, if that was your matlub, you were the Tariq, the car was the matlub. That was the one that you were seeking. You finally got it. You feel pretty good about yourself, drive a little extra slow, But after a while, I feel empty. What do I do? I put new rims on this thing? Did I put a giant Kia sticker on top of the windshield? Well, what should I do? I don't understand. I'm still feeling like maybe I need to go on epic vacation and then take the most filtered photos and post. Now you see what you keep running. Empty. Road.
You're miserable. You know why you're miserable? Because every time you get something, you see somebody else who has something more. You get a really nice house, somebody got a bigger house. You got really nice shoes, somebody got better shoes. You got everything. People do this in Islam. We built a really nice masjid. Oh my God, Long Island, they built a bigger masjid. They're just bigger. We raised $500,000. They rose $700,000. Their funding was better than ours. In everything, we're just constantly comparing, looking for the next thing, looking for the next thing, and the whole same as that fly makes you feel powerless. Everything else you're running after is like that. Useless. And it takes something away from you. It's all it is. One thing after the next after the next. You know, when Allah says we are weak and the things we are running after are also weak, that is not to say you should not have a nice job, you should not have a nice car, you should not have a nice house. All of those things, He made these things for you. He made these things for you. That's fine. You can have those things. But you know what? Those things are they're byproducts. They're not your actual goal. They're just a byproduct. They happen. He says in the next ayah, this is what we're going to do. They did not appreciate Allah like He deserved to be appreciated. They did not value Allah the way He deserved to be valued. When you realize that my value does not come from the suit that I'm wearing, my value does not come from the car that I'm driving, my value does not come from the money that I have, from the degree that I have, from the popularity that I have, from the pictures that I posted, from my appearance, from my look, from my haircut, from my food that I'm eating, from the restaurant I went to, from the vacation. My value comes from none of those things because the world is now telling you you are only valuable so long as you can show your value to the world. You can show something. You can put yourself on display, right? Put your money, your wealth, your looks, your food, even your food. Look, I got ketchup. And you take a picture of it and you post it. Who cares about your ketchup? Nobody cares, but you have to keep competing. When you see that your value comes from these things, you are weak, and the thing you're running after is also weak. You will remain insecure because the things you're running after themselves are insecure. The next time Allah says, they didn't appreciate Allah like they deserve to be appreciated. You know what that means? I realize Allah has already given me value. Things don't give me value. People don't give me value. Who's already given me value? Allah. And I have to value Allah. When I truly learn to value Allah, these things they stop mattering. They're no longer. It was really interesting. Today something happened that was really funny. I was in Masjid Manhattan. I'll end with it. Masjid Manhattan. Imam Mustafa knows me from when I was 19 years old. I couldn't even grow a beard at Yaqubad. I was nervous. But when it was one of my first big khutbahs in Warren Street, when back when Warren Street used to be there, right? And he's like, "You're okay." I was like, "Man, it's going to be okay. Go." He didn't know the only reason I was nervous is because he was there. But anyway, so he's very loving, and he forgot my name. Hey, mashallah, and Imran Ali Khan has come up with so many names. I thought it was adorable. Somebody gave me, "You're not upset that he let you?" I'm like, "Why would I be upset?" Oh, because I'm supposed to be famous. And if I'm famous, I'm supposed to be. What did you say? Who do you think you are? This similar thing happened when a brother and I were having dinner, and we're at a restaurant, our families together, and somebody recognized. They keep looking back, and they know the brother I'm with. So, looking, check. The guy comes over, my friend. I really wanted to say salam to you. Okay, salam. And he did say salam to me. Right? And I'm eating my burger and I'm silly. I didn't even look at all of it. I'm just eating my burger. I don't care. Then he went back to the table and he goes, "See what I just did?" Prove. Like I'm supposed to be offended. No, the only thing that was offending me was there's not enough ketchup on my burger. But you know what this is? This is the expectation expectation that somebody will see value in being recognized. Somebody will see value in, oh, you need to give me this special seat. Somebody will see value in, you need to hold the door open for me. Somebody will see value in, oh, who said salam first, who said salam second. Stop looking for value in these things. They have no value. Your value lies with your Rabb, and the only one you should be truly giving value is to your Rabb. And when you have that, then you know what? It becomes easy. And it's easy for you to be humble with each other. Because you're not looking for value and proof against each other. You're not trying to score anything. You recognize we're all weak, and the only thing that makes us strong is when we value Allah. Allah is the mighty. Allah is the ultimately strong. We seek Allah, we become strong. We seek anything else, we become weak. So don't allow your insecurity to take hold. Especially many of you young people, I know that this community has a special love for Islam. There are young people that are trying to learn. Like, give you guys this one bit of advice. You're trying to learn Deen. When you're trying to learn Deen, you're knowledgeable a little bit more than others. You start competing with other people. Are you more knowledgeable than that guy? Who's more knowledgeable? Why are you doing that? Why are you looking for value in that? Why are you doing that? Other people compete in cars. Kids compete in who got more Legos. You're competing with who gives a better football. Shame on you. This is not why you learn this Deen. You learn this Deen for yourself. You learn this Deen to get closer to your Rabb, to find value in your Rabb, and to recognize your Rabb finds value in you. You don't compete with others and start putting scorecards together. Stop. Pathetic. This is not why you learn your. So I pray that we truly internalize the message of these ayahs, and we truly remember the example of that little fly that others that Allah they cannot bring the value in our life, not even worth a fly. Even if they all got back together. And they can't take something away that Allah's created fly takes away from them. The whole world can get together, they can't recover it. Not until fly you Allah will make us all strong, make us truly value Allah the way He deserves to be valued. These ayat are very, very beautiful. My recommendation to you, if you're not confident or if you're not good at memorizing, try and memorize this last page of the Hajj.